go. Hello everyone, this is SBR Forums Madness in March. I'm Jeff Grant, and here's two picks that I'm personally playing in the city of Las Vegas for Thursday's Sweet 16 action of the 2013 NCAA Tournament. We're going to start off in the West region, the Arizona Wildcats versus the Ohio State Buckeyes at the Staples Center in Southern California. This one tipping off at 7:47 Eastern Time on TBS. Currently, anywhere between 3 and 4 point favorites, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Well, the total sits at 134 after opening up at 132. The Arizona Wildcats 74-51 victory and 81-64 victory over the Harvard Crimson and Belmont Bruins, respectively. Those games coming as 10.5 and 4.5 point favorites. 31 of the program's 48 all-time NCAA tournament wins have happened in the West region, and this team is a dangerous underdog, 15-6 against the spread. Their last 21 opportunities when getting points, they only received points once this season, came away with a 65-64 victory over the Florida Gators as 2-point home underdogs. That game coming all the way back in December 15th. Head coach Sean Miller should not be overwhelmed by the situation, given the fact that he's matching up with a coach that he's very familiar with. Him and Tad Matta coached together as assistants at Miami of Ohio, and they also matched up in an NCAA tournament a few years back, Miller with Xavier and Matta just starting out with Ohio State. When you look at the Buckeyes, they played two finesse teams that rely on three-point shots in the first two victories of the NCAA tournament. 78-75 win over Iowa State and a 95-70 victory over Iona. Those games coming as 7.5 and 15-point favorites, respectively. Both those games occurring at University of Dayton. This team has not left the Midwest Central Time Zone or Eastern Time Zone the entire season, and haven't played on the West Coast in at least the last 6 years. That's as far as I went back to look at the past performances of this program. So this team's going to be in a very unfamiliar setting on Thursday night. Playing in their fourth consecutive Sweet 16, this team does not lack experience in the big moment, and this team is led by point guard Aaron Craft and forward Deshaun Thomas. But with that being said, I only established Ohio State as 1.5 point favorites, so my official pick on this game is the Arizona Wildcats +4. The second and final game we're going to look at on Thursday is the East Region matchup between the Indiana Hoosiers and Syracuse Orange. Indiana anywhere between 5 and 6 point favorites, total sitting at 136 in the market. Verizon Center tip at 9:45 Eastern Time on CBS. Really, the only advantage that I find that Syracuse has in this game is the fact that they have played inside this venue, but they had their worst offensive performance of the 2012-13 campaign in facing the Georgetown Hoyas in this venue. Temple, they beat Temple 58-52 Indiana, and also opened up a second-round victory over James Madison 83-62. Big Ten regular season champs, the best conference in basketball this season. Of course, they fell flat against Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship, but they've lost 12 consecutive games against the Badgers, a team that is known for manning up on defense under head coach Bo Ryan against the Indiana Hoosiers. So this is a different type of offensive game plan that Tom Crean's going to have to put up against the Syracuse 2-3 zone. Indiana Hoosiers 5-11 against the spread their last 16 games on a neutral floor. When you look at Syracuse, visually impressive given the fact that they beat California and Montana on the West Coast, traveling across the country after playing the Big East Championship game and playing each game of that particular event each day. 2-3 zone, as I mentioned, is really the key to handicapping this game. I figure Crean's had enough time to find some holes in that. Really, the only time that I think Syracuse is going to have an advantage in this game from an offensive or defensive standpoint is in the opening 10 minutes. 0-6 on a neutral floor with a total of 135 to 139.5. That's the Syracuse Orange. That means it's a higher tempo game, or they're playing a good offensive team, because mainly when this team plays on a neutral floor, the total is between 120 and 129.5, not 136, where this is currently sitting at SBRodds.com. I established the Indiana Hoosiers as 6 point favorites in this game, so I'm going to lay the points here. Indiana -5 against the Syracuse Orange. This has been SBR Forums Madness in March. Cut.